Matthew, therefore speak out of them in parables, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah. Mark, the explanation is, all these things are done in parables, that seeing they may see and not perceive, and hearing they may hear and not understand, lest at any time they should be converted and their sins should be forgiven. Luke, but to others in parables, that seeing they might not see and hearing they might not understand. Yeah, this phrase needs to be combined. Seeing they might not see. Let's just go with that one for now. Mark, that seeing they may see and not perceive. So Luke is the most simple, I believe. Well, actually, no, Matthew, because they seeing see not. That's the simplest, Matthew. Luke is the next most simple. That seeing they might not see. Instead of just see not, it's might not see. A little bit more in Luke. Mark, that seeing they may see and not perceive. Those are pretty much the same. And that seeing may see and not perceive. That's the most descriptive, so I'm going to go with that from Mark. I think I might have to get rid of that word because from Matthew as well. He's already in the midst of the explanation. Because to you it is given to the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to others that are outside is not given. Matthew just continues with another, because they seeing see not. Although in Matthew it continues, and in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which says, by hearing you shall hear and not understand, seeing you shall see and not perceive. That is not quoted in any of the others. So I'm going to have that as the next sentence, Isaiah 6:10. Let me take a look at what that verse says. Isaiah 6:9. And he said, go and tell this people, hear you indeed, but understand not, see you indeed, but perceive not. Oh, look at that, perceive not. So I definitely want to keep that from Mark. Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they seeing with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert, and be healed. Yeah, definitely with Mark. Seeing, might see, and not perceive, because that word is actually in Isaiah. Matthew and Luke don't use that. I think because of that verse, the because actually fits. He's not doing this so that they don't understand. He's speaking to them in parables because they look, but I guess they're not trying to understand. Isaiah, go and tell this people, hear you indeed. Yes, you hear, but understand not. You don't understand. You see, but don't perceive. So this is God telling Isaiah to tell them, yes, you see, but you don't perceive. So I think that's why. Because they see but don't perceive, it's given to them in parables. Okay, so I'm going to keep the because from Matthew. That seeing they may see and not perceive. Now, because they seeing may see and not perceive. That's okay. I can keep because they instead of that from Mark. Or maybe I can switch it around. In Matthew says because they seeing. Mark says that seeing they. The seeing and they are switched in Matthew and Mark. And I like how it's written in Mark. Even if I was going to change that for because. That way it would read, because seeing they see not. But it would be changed now. Because seeing they may see and not perceive. Because seeing they may see. Luke, that, again, that seeing they. It's the same between Mark and Luke. Seeing they and then might instead of may. Mark has more. May see and not perceive. Luke just goes right into might not see. Yeah, that's just how I'm going to do it. I'm going to switch around seeing with they, because seeing they. And this seeing they is all three, actually. They may see. Or maybe I should go with might from Luke. What does it say next? And not perceive, and hearing they may hear and understand. They might see, hearing they might understand. Okay, so it's may twice in Mark, might twice in Luke. Matthew just doesn't have any of that. Seeing they see not, hearing they hear not. I think I like may. Might, may. I think it's the same. Might, may. I'm sticking with may. So may is Mark only. See, and this see is in all three. They see not. And not. The word and is Mark only. And not. So that not is all three. Perceive is Mark only. Matthew continues, and hearing they hear not. And hearing they may hear and not understand. So a little bit more again in Mark. Luke, and hearing they might not understand. And hearing they. Luke, and hearing they. So those three words are all three. Hear not in Matthew. Mark may hear. Just skips the second hearing or hear and just goes right. Might not understand. I'm sticking with may instead of might from Luke. That second here is Matthew and Mark. Seeing they may see and not perceive, and hearing they may hear and not. Not is the three. Understand, that's what has to be. That's in Matthew. Hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. I think instead of having neither do they understand as a third mention of what's wrong as it is in Matthew, because Matthew goes like this, therefore I speak to them in parables. 1, because seeing they see not. 2, and hearing they hear not. 3, neither do they understand. Mark and Luke have just 2. Seeing they may see and not perceive, and hearing they may hear and not understand. Not understanding is what it means to hear but hear not. Luke, seeing they might not see, hearing they might not understand. Yeah, so understand is definitely the result of hearing. So I'm going to make sure that it stays like that instead of as a third issue in Matthew. Hearing they may hear and not understand. So I have to get rid of neither do they, because that's the third mention. Seeing they may see and not perceive, and hearing they may hear and not understand. It just has to be like that. So I got to get rid of neither do they. Understand, I'll then just say is from all three.